This way, Tarnished. May I have a word?
There is something bewitching about the moon. Its ethereal beauty, its loneliness. It has always captivated me. So it was no wonder I fell in love with Rani and her story. Daughter of Queen Ranala of the full moon and the mighty red-haired Radagon, Rani was always destined to greatness. Early in her life, she would meet a snow witch during one of her adventures in the forest. This witch would soon be her mentor and would introduce Rani to the mighty and majestic dark full moon. Her respect and adoration for her teacher would go so far that when she would eventually cast her imperial flesh in order to reclaim her independence, her free will, her soul would inhabit a doll fashioned in the likeness of her mentor. Designated as an Empyrean in her early life by the two fingers, any other demigod would have rejoiced at the chance to one day replace Queen Marika as the divinity of the lands between. But not Rani. She saw this mantle not as an acknowledgement of her abilities or her lineage, but as shackles. Shackles which had taken away her freedom, her free will, her desire to forge her own destiny. And so she would hatch a plot to destroy these golden shackles, a plot so dark that it would forever change the lands between. One dark night, a band of assassins would descend upon the royal capital of Liendel, and the blood of demigods would forever taint the center of power, Queen Marika. But one death in particular would have an impact so big it would forever alter the future of the lands between. Queen Marika's golden boy, Godwin the Perfect, would perish that night, but due to machinations of Rani, he would die only in spirit, but his body would live on. And Rani? Rani would also cast away her life, but she would only lose her mortal shell, but live on in spirit. Thus, freeing our beloved blue waifu from the shackles of Two Fingers' subjugation, free to pursue her own path to the divinity which will finally be set in motion when one day a tarnished of little renown would reach the gates of Karia Manor.
A tarnished here. Thou must have some business in mind to come all this way, though I have no memory of inking thee an invitation.
With the aid of this tarnished, Rani would finally overthrow the tyranny of Greater Will, ending its overbearing presence from the lands between. But what does this ending, or rather a new beginning, mean for the people, the proud inhabitants of the lands one ruled by Queen Marika? So, what does this age of stars entail? What does her new order supposed to mean? Does she intend to surrender the lands between to yet another eldritch entity, just like her predecessor, Queen Marika? No. We need to remember Rani is a character whose sole motivating factor has been her desire to control her destiny, and that is what she intends to bring to the lands between. Up until now, under the golden order of Queen Marika, life, souls, and order were tightly bound, and the world lacked emotions and a gentle touch. And therefore, when she says 1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon, she does not mean that a tyrannical rule of 1,000 years under another eldritch entity would be unleashed on the land, but she wants to remove herself from the lands between and undergo a self-imposed exile, taking her order of stars away into the dark and lonely night sky, granting the inhabitants of the lands choice, a choice to impose their own order, their own destiny.
I do solemnly swear to every living being and every living soul. Now cometh the age of the stars. 1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon. Here beginneth the chill night that encompasses all, reaching the great beyond. Into fear, doubt, and loneliness, as the path stretcheth into darkness. Well then, shall we? My fair consort eternal.
Thank you guys for watching this video. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/AlvinGrim. Come and say hello to me over there. And if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And we will see each other in another video.